So you got involved with the rugby club at some stage?
Well, my involvement, I know sporting record. I mean, the limit of what I had got was when in 1950, I think, I was on a street league team for GA in Westport, which I was on the Bridge Street and Shop Street team. Seamus Welch was the captain, and we won the street leagues in Westport, and I got a medal for that. I think that's what I ever had done up to that. But then I was walking along, roughly about 1964, minding my own business along the Mall, and a car pulled up. It was, I think, Jack McAleer and maybe Stephen Welch and some other lads, and said, "Hop in, we're playing Galwegians." And I said, I can't play rugby, I never played it, and this doesn't matter. We hop in there, and I said, "Well, I've no boots now, I've no equipment or togs or anything." So it doesn't matter, we'll organise it. And I shanghaied off the street and headed up. They only had 12 lads leaving. That was quite common, that about 12 leaving for Galway. I think they were looking up, picking one or two Westport lads in Galway, students, and they cheerfully took out with that. I was out in the wing, and I knew nothing, and never knew anything much about rugby, and I just did what I was told, and ran up and down, and it wasn't a scientific game now. It isn't all the talk about channels and this and that and the other. It was rough and ready.
And did you tackle anybody that day?
No, I was careful. I stayed far on the wing. If I could be out sitting in the car park, quite happy. I don't think I ever.
And did you win?
I can't remember whether or not. I think, but there was some break. I mean,
who was on the team? Who was in the club around that time now?
Jack McAleer, Stephen Welch, Liam Welch was scrum half, very very brave scrum half, and Martin Jennings from Ballinrobe, Rob Kelly, who had just come to Westport from. He married to Sheila Ingham in Westport. He had been in Castlebar. Charlie Garvin from Castlebar. Castlebar no club then, and Ballinrobe no club. Mike Stanton, Pat Grady, Tom Durkin. Tom's a very slightly built player. I mean, and people often regarded say they could run around him or run through him, but he was very quick, and he was tough as nails in the tackle. I mean, a lot of people underestimate him trying to run past him. He could tackle very hard for his size.
And had he learned it in school?
Well, he'd learned it. He'd be at school in one of the East Coast colleges where they've learned it. I mean, I went to a school which is heavy into Gaelic, football and hurling, more into hurling than football. But they afraid I didn't pursue them after I left. It was good fun. Good fun going around.
And where did you play your matches locally?
We played down the Bog Field. It's called. It was down on your left there when you go down to into the domain. You go past the gatehouse that is now Kenny's. It was a field that sloped fairly. It sloped down to the left. So the important thing was which side you picked on the toss and so on. Because if you ended up playing downhill for the second half, an opposing team could run out of energy very quickly. The way I was just leaning on them. But the thing is, I mean, training does this. Training program was running the length, trotting the length of the pitch, and then sprinting the width 3 times. That was it. They were off to the pub and to strategy discussions. That was the guards' heavy training. The only man who took training seriously was Hugh O'Malley. He would be down lapping the soccer pitch several times a week. He was a great runner. He took it seriously, but being fit seriously. But the rest is regarded as non-sporting to be getting any fitter.
And did you ever win a trophy?
Well, say that I won it, it'd be a bit of a stretch, but in
Were you on the team, yeah?
64 I was on the team, and we won the Connacht Junior League that day, so everybody got a replica cup. I had it in the house up to recently, still around, but the funny thing is my son Richard, who was a Farbershire player, he learned it at his school, played very well, and he played with Westport for a time, that he didn't succeed being on a cup winning team, so I used to annoy him a bit by telling his friends, calling, "Do you want to see my cup?" I'll get one later, I'm sure, but it wasn't. But it was basically I was on the team because I wasn't drinking and was prepared to collect guys out of the SCEF at night. If the SCEF was our headquarters, so all was Corda Ford owned it then, and you know, the senior, you'd have dinner with the opposite team and maybe spend part of the night with them, but whenever they finished that pub, they end back in the SCEF whatever time they're out, and to be found in the SCEF later on during the day or during the night. And then if I show up and collect them, get them, persuade them to get into the car and come home, and went to some of the recently married. Says, well, remember recently married. I remember going to Bridgie and just saying, "Sorry, we're so late. It was my fault. I was at this party," and so on. As soon as I got them home and covered, explained the delay, I was out in the wing again next Sunday.
Everyone was happy.
So that was the only basis I was ever selected, I think, and also that they were always very short-handed.
And did Bridget believe you?
Well, I think she know at least I was bringing them home, that I wasn't drinking, so at least it was some consolation. But that's the only reason I was on the team.